Right, in we come class, settle down, quieten down, mobile phones away. Today we're going to learn all about the dinosaurs. Wait, what? What? Yes, I know this is the history of the world and we're currently looking at humans, but let's jump back a little bit. Well, I say a little bit, around 66 million years ago, and look at Brachiosaurus, Triceratops, T-Rex and much more. And when I say T-Rex, I don't mean the band featuring Mark Bolan. Where did all the dinosaurs go? Now, that is a good question, and it's one which has a mostly accepted theory that's not actually that old. In fact, it was developed by a father and son, a pair of scientists, in the 1970s, that an asteroid or something huge sent from space smashed into the Earth, and kaboom! No more dinosaurs. Well, except for Mrs. Smythe, the science technician, but shh, don't tell her that. Right, let's look at the dinosaurs and where they went and what happened to them. Remember to mark your attendance at today's lesson by clicking subscribe down below. Now, most scientists and people much more intelligent than myself think that the dinosaurs went extinct roughly 66 million years ago, and it was Luis and Walter Alvarez who came up with the asteroid theory. They believe that a huge asteroid smashed into Earth and caused a huge extinction event. It was during the Cretaceous period that the dinosaurs did go extinct. Now, to some of you who see dinosaurs on the telly and think that they all live together, happily, eating each other, well, that's not actually true. The Triassic period occurred roughly 237 to 201 million years ago. Then the Jurassic period came, 201 million years to 145 million years ago, and then the Cretaceous period came 145 million years ago to 66 million years ago. Now, examples of Triassic dinosaurs include theropods and plateosaurs. Examples of Jurassic dinosaurs include T-Rex, Diplodocus and Brachiosaurs. And examples of Cretaceous dinosaurs include Argentinosaurus, Velociraptor and Afrovenator. And no, they didn't have an afro on their heads. So that is one common misconception. All the dinosaurs didn't have a big tea party together. And let's remember, it's not like 1 week T-Rex came along replacing what went before. There were millions of years between the different periods. The Cretaceous period was when the dinosaurs, as mentioned, did become extinct. And the name for this, Cretaceous, comes from the Latin word chalk. And one easy way for us Brits to remember this, if you ever want to, is the fact the White Cliffs of Dover, as in the chalky cliffs on the south coast, were formed around this time too. Now, the wiping out of the dinosaurs was probably the biggest mass extinction event in the history of the planet, as roughly 80% of all animal species disappeared and were gone. Scientists argue that the dinosaurs were already in a bad way and were already declining because certain species kept evolving quicker, becoming the more dominant species, eating others. The food chain shifted quickly and only those who were able to adapt well survived. Yes, back to that spectacularly bearded chap Charles Darwin, the survival of the fittest. Now, even the most famous dinosaurs, such as T-Rex, were magnificent creatures. T-Rex would eat other dinosaurs, such as Triceratops, and they were roughly 12 metres tall and could weigh around 7,000 kilograms, a little bit like me. They could also run rather quickly for their size. Triceratops developed their nose horns for defending against creatures such as T-Rex, and they weighed around 5,000 kilograms themselves. But these, instead of eating animals, were herbivores, choosing to eat plants instead. Think of that. It's a rather sorry state. A Triceratops eating its dinner peacefully, munching on petunias and daffodils, whilst a T-Rex is stood behind it in a bush licking its lips. Yes, a question. What is it, Daisy?
But what does extinction mean, sir?
Well, if an animal goes extinct, it means that the species is completely wiped from the face of the earth, and there are absolutely no members of that species left on Earth. Some species became extinct due to mass extinction events, such as an ice age, and the last one got rid of woolly mammoths, as well as saber-toothed tigers. And just to cover it, an ice age doesn't last for a few weeks or a few hours like the film, and it's not a cold snap. The last one went on from around 100,000 years ago until around 25,000 years. But the main theory about the dinosaurs only came around in the 1970s, that a mass event caused by an asteroid wiped them out. Luis and Walter Alvarez, that father and son scientist duo, the superhero duo, the Alvarez family, a bit like the Incredibles, thought that the asteroid hitting the Earth led to an instant wiping out of the dinosaurs. They predicted that the asteroid would have smashed into Earth at a speed of roughly 38 miles a second and caused a crater around 112 miles across. There's even been some evidence found of this in Mexico. Now here's the really clever bit. Alvarez Jr. and Sr. thought that the atmosphere was filled with rock debris, making it impossible for sunlight to get through. This then caused all plant life to die that required photosynthesis to survive and depended on the sun, and that this then disrupted the food chain massively, and that all the dinosaurs that ate plants would also be goners. But then those dinosaurs who ate herbivores, like T-Rex, would be affected as well, leading to even more extinction. The scientists also found a lot of iridium, an element found in asteroids and meteors. Over time, more and more evidence has been found that backs up this, and today the asteroid theory is widely accepted to be really what happened to the dinosaurs. Some are doubtful, as they've argued that some animals such as birds, small mammals, frogs and lizards, which would have been affected, have survived. But others, very clever people, have considered that these would have flown up into the air or burrowed underground, keeping them safe. Climate change could also have caused the habitats of dinosaurs to deteriorate. Now, let's think of one crazy thing though. Dinosaurs lived on this planet for around 150 million years. We've only been around on this planet as Homo sapiens for around 200,000 years. Right, is that the time already? God, I love the sound of my own voice. There's the bell. End of the lesson. That is what is believed happened to the dinosaurs. That an asteroid hit the Earth and caused absolute chaos. Now, as always, thanks for stopping by in my lesson, and to confirm your attendance, click subscribe down below. It really does help. Now, a question for you. Your homework is a dead straightforward and simple one. Easy. What is your favourite dinosaur and why? Stay tuned on History of the World as we start to move towards those ancient civilisations. I know we've moved back a little bit today, but hopefully you found this interesting. Thank you so much for attending, and thank you for watching The History of the World.